Good evening, gentlemen and ladies, if you're listening. This is the Leeds House. I am James.
I'm Kevin.
We're about to do a season review or some sort of review of it.
I don't know if we can do an entire season review, but if I wanted to put it into 2 words right now, bloody shite.
Yeah, completely shit.
What a shitbag
And sort of build up our expectations at the start.
All those first few games, we were going on a European tour, weren't we?
I stupidly did a Leicester bet.
Yeah.
Right at the start of the season.
Well, that we were going to win the league.
Going outright, yeah, we ended up getting relegated.
Well, how much did you put on it?
Not a lot. It's probably about £2 or something.
£2. You lost.
I lost £2, and I'm going to have to sell my house now for that.
You are going to have to sell your house.
Anyway, so yeah. We'll run through a little bit of the news, what's going on this week.
Yeah, should we do news first, and then we can do a little bit of a season review, because it's been a bit of a weird week for Leeds.
News time.
So we could have... Rads went down cash converters with Ellen Road.
Yeah. I think, as always, it's been sort of looked at very negatively, which is fair enough. But I look at it as nothing's happened. I reckon he was probably looking at what his options were in terms of what he could sell, what he could get money from. He's a businessman. He does own us. He does own the ground. Fortunately, it's a bit shit, but this is what business people do.
Do you think he'd get more money for Ellen Road than he would for Patrick Bamford?
Well, it's a close one. Are they sorting them toilets out?
No, not yet.
No, then.
Wait. But you never know. Patrick Bamford, we might get £4 for him.
Yeah. Patrick Bamford.
Here's a question for you right now, okay? And I want you to answer honestly.
Go on then.
We all like Patrick Bamford. He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
But would you rather have Patrick Bamford or a Frey Bentos pie right now?
If it's cooked.
But you got to cook it right, though.
I'd have Bamford.
Yeah, you got to cook those pies right, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it right, there's some slivery shit in the middle of those.
They're like poison.
Yeah.
Poison ivy. But, yeah, so he's basically, what's he done? He's looked to see what he can get for it.
Yeah.
In terms of, not even like
it's like pawning it.
Yeah.
Really.
Or a part of it,
Yeah.
a portion of it, to try and see if he can get some money. He hasn't done that, by the way, has he?
No, it doesn't look like
he just
it.
looked into it. And I think this is the problem when stories get put out like that, in terms of like he's looking into his own businesses and seeing whatever.
It looks like the Athletic had his pants down, really, didn't it?
Absolutely raped him, didn't
That buggered him, mate.
Yeah. And it's not painted him in a good light, to be fair, and he's looking like a bit of a dodgy. And they're comparing him to Cellino and Bates and that, which is a bit wider than that.
It is a bit wider than Mac, but these are the sort of things that you could believe happen when they were in charge, and you can understand the fan base's views when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah,
I agree with the majority of the fan base. Ellen Road isn't Radz's. I can't even fucking say his name, can I? It's not Radz's. He's just borrowed it. It belongs to us.
To be fair, he was taking a 1.7 million lease fee from that as well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and the rent was getting paid to one of his companies and that. So he's a bit of a chancer, isn't he?
And he's a businessman.
Yeah,
that's what he is. He's looking after his own interests, which it's shit when you own a football club, because when you're a fan, you expect the owners, the players, the manager, and it's unrealistic, but you expect them to all be like bought into the club and like,
yeah,
we're first, and it's just not that way anymore. It's like it's getting further and further away from that now, and this is the thing that we're going to realise. And if you think that if a big massive billionaire comes in and takes over, that they're going to be any different, you're sorely mistaken.
Yeah, we can't all have Big Todd Bowley as chairman coming in slapping 600 million, not knowing what the fuck's going on, really. going into the dressing rooms at half time, talking to players, trying to give them a pep talk and that.
I reckon he's just been on like a year-long, I don't know, bend down. He didn't realise he's going to wake up and he's got to own Chelsea with about £1 billion of debt and be like, what the fuck's going on here?
I might as well just run with it.
I've got it. But I mean, that's the state of the play now for football clubs. Less and less interested in like the core values of the club, and it's all about money. It's all about money and success, money and success.
Well, the community values of Leeds seem to have dropped off a lot. Obviously, since it's Bielsa left and there's no talk from. Obviously, we mentioned this on the last one, and obviously it's been a while since we did our last one. Now, obviously, for 4 or 5 days, and the only thing that Rads has come out of saying we will get back, and that to me looks like he's staying. But that's all we've had. We've had nothing from the PR teams, nothing from 49ers. I do keep reading up a lot on this.
Yeah.
Apparently, the American sources are saying that the sale is going. It's just taking its time.
The American sources.
The long no, I mean, I'm just looking at websites reading it.
The American sources.
But when the longer this is taking, the longer that we're getting put back. Because you think Leicester and Southampton, Southampton, when they got relegated, they knew what they were doing. They had something in place already, ready to go. Leicester and Leeds and Southampton are all going to be dipping into the same sort of manager pool now, same sort of player pool, and we're going to be last to the party. We're going to be the one like drinking, in American terms, we're going to be the ones that are going to be drinking punch that someone's been sick in.
Yeah, I mean, and I do understand from the fans and stuff in terms of like what we've had in the past, and you just expect the worst in these situations, especially being a Leeds fan.
Especially being a Leeds fan.
Yeah, and it does look daunting. It does look like sort of, fuck, it's all falling apart again. But
the old song comes back.
But like that statement was a very generic statement. He can't really commit to one or the other. Yeah, he can't commit to one or the other. He can't be like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, because it's probably still a little bit up in the air.
He did say it's impossible for us to get relegated as well.
He says
impossible for us to get relegated.
Again, you cannot not come on for trying to have confidence in the team.
Yeah, but once it backfires, though, everyone's on it.
You've got to. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the risk you take when you make these statements. When you're owner, a player too. Us fans, we say every week we're gonna win this game.
Yeah,
and then we get smashed, and then we get hammered. But this is the way it is. But when you're in that position, you've got no holding place, and it's just one of them.
He's got to sell up, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I hope he sells up.
Yeah, he needs to.
He can't run 2 clubs.
No chance, and I don't.
He could barely run us.
The only thing that I worry about he could barely run us. The only thing that I worry about the most about all this Sampdoria Leeds thing is the fact that these parachute payments that we're getting in for Leeds, could they be going across like to Sampdoria and funding their rebuild, because they're in debt.
Oh yeah, they are. I don't know, mate. I don't know if it can work that way. I'm not well versed in how the payments get made and how it goes through, and I'm not sure. That would be a really, really, really shitty thing to happen if that was the case.
It's a very Leeds thing to happen, though, isn't it?
You got to remember, like the payments that come down, maybe you can only claim 50+ % of it, and then obviously 49ers will have their share of it or whatever. So there's that way to look at it. I mean, it just needs sorting. It needs sorting quick. We said this at the end of the season. It needs to be done as fast as it can. Obviously, with him buying into the club, it just throws up everything in the air. And then when you got fucking The Athletic throwing out these news articles about Ellen Road and that, it just makes it a lot more tense.
Yeah,
I'd rather people just shut the fuck up and just let it play out and see what happens. If it turns out to be a big load of shit and he sold the ground, and then we can just flare up then. But while it's still like this, it's just making everyone uneasy, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, we're talking obviously about ownership and all the things that come with that. We've got Angus Kinnear talking to managers or doing a manager shortlist without this director of football. So maybe we're not even going down the director of football route now. Maybe we're getting a manager who wants his own players in and builds a team in that image, which worries me or doesn't worry me. There's two sides to that coin. Is that if Angus Kinnear has been told he's been staying on by the 49ers, okay, and they're leading the manager search together, and Rads isn't anything to do with.
But that might be the case as well.
That's the only logical thing that I can think about is us going after these managers, because what's that? There's Corberan has been mentioned now. You've got Steven Gerrard, who please no Steven Gerrard. But do you know what? I don't want Steven Gerrard. No. I do not want him at all. But there's one thing in the back of my mind that would be good about having Steven Gerrard as manager. The players that want to stay to play for Steven Gerrard.
Possibly. There is that, but if they want to stay and play for him, but he's not teaching them anything, then what's the point?
And we're sat with that shit 4-3-3 that he plays.
Yeah, I mean, with Gerrard's a very sort of, you don't know what you're going to get with him.
I do. Really. Slip over and dog shit.
You can't.
Just watch his hands 24/7.
You had him at Rangers, and he did a good job. I know it's Rangers, and then you had him at Villa, and he just went shit. But you can make mistakes and you can come back stronger.
Just like Frank Lampard.
He makes mistakes and comes back weaker.
Still gets the
Still keeps getting jobs.
He'll be the manager of Bayern Munich next.
Well, he'll be the England manager before you know it, with a 0% win record in the next 4 years. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but he's living off vibes, isn't he?
God.
But no, I don't want Steven Gerrard. And I mean, there's a lot of names being thrown out there. They've even got this new French guy. He's had 1 season in management. What's his name? Reginald Lebouche.
Yeah. And they're on about getting the
Legris.
Yeah, I know you're on about.
Yeah, I can't say his name.
Yeah, and they're on about getting the thing from the
Genk guy.
Yeah,
who's made over £3 to £600 million worth of sales in the last 5 years or something like that. So, why would you want to leave if you're getting fat stats like that? But it is Genk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that where fucking Kevin De Bruyne come from? Was Genk?
Somewhere like that.
Or
looks like he was from there anyway.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's a bit Flemish, isn't he? 'Cause that's where he's from.
But regardless, right, whether you're a manager, whether you're a player, whether you're a director of football, whether you're an owner, like the aim is to get to the Premier League. I mean, obviously we're in the Championship at the moment, but we've got as good a chance.
We're second favourites to go up, mate.
Well, fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's see what players we've got left. But yeah, there's a good chance if everything goes to plan and we spend the parachute payments or even half of the parachute.
And keep the good players, yeah.
Yeah, keep some of the good players. There's a good chance we should be able to go back up. So anyone with a worth of salt in football wants to play or manage or do jobs in the Premier League. It's the place to be, really. But
there isn't many jobs out for all these people now. The only big job out there at the minute, right now. Okay, so you're talking Rodgers, Potter. Who is there any teams in the Premiership that ain't got a manager right now apart from Tottenham? And from what I've just read,
nobody wants to manage Tottenham.
Yeah, but Ange Postecoglou's from Gironano. It looks like it. Yeah.
Well, he'll speak to Levy and then he'll change his mind.
He probably will do. Yeah, they'll go back to Southwark, win 3 trophies again next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he looks like he's a decent manager.
Again, it's
relative.
Yeah, it's that proving yourself. Taking what you've done in Scotland and at Scotland to somewhere else with a higher sort of chance of winning the league and whatnot and doing well there. So, I do well at Tottenham. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care about Tottenham.
But I mean, well, the reason I made that point is the fact that Potter, Rodgers, where's the jobs for these lads now?
There'll be jobs to fly up. Within the next 4 months.
Yeah,
the season, the Premiership will have manager.
But do you want to sit out that long? Or why would you not want to come to a giant like Leeds United with an actual good budget for the Championship, with an actual good base of players, which we've all been saying is shit all year. But in that league, they're going to be good players.
Yeah.
With a good manager. Why would you not want to take that job when you've got some absolute good players in there with a good youth team coming through as well? Why would you not want that job? You Potter or Rodgers, you want it.
Potter, Rodgers. We wouldn't. Well, we would want it, but they might want it as well. They might not.
But it's still Rads is in charge, isn't it?
Yeah, you talked about Canary. He's been sort of left to run the club. The club still needs to be run.
He's been thrown to the bus earlier, like.
Yeah, he's been fair play to him.
He's still a prick, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a square head. It looks like someone's run over him with a lawnmower and then punched him in the face and tipped a boiling lasagna on him. He disgusts me, that bloke does.
Dick around in the playoffs this year. Get a lasagna off me head.
Yeah, but I mean, then there's all these other names like Iraola. He's the one that you kind of, because I don't know too much about him.
They were the one. He was the one that they wanted.
Yeah, and he's on the market now.
He is. Don't know. I hate guessing who's going to come in. Because we always get it wrong.
Yeah, always. Yeah, and there's always somebody weird. There's always going to be some sort of experimental manager that these like to have. But the only thing with this is Victor Orta's not there to pick these experimental managers now.
That's good.
And Agus Kinnear, he's got in his phone book, he's got Big Sam.
Well, sorry to stop you there. Have you seen that about Big Sam? They might be offering the director of football job.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think that's going to go through though.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but what sort of players is he going to be looking out for and that? Doing contracts? Yeah, give me a bit of your cash. Sign it on that fag pack. It's yours. You know what I mean? He's not a director of football.
You come and play with us. You come on my podcast.
Do you think that he knows like about all the youth footballer in Ukraine and Brazil and that? Do you think he has all these now? I don't think he does. Where the teams like Brighton are fishing, why can't we be fishing in them pools, man?
You say, I think with Orta and whoever comes in, there's going to be the team that find the players. His job is to convince that player then to come over.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what he'll be doing. I don't think Orta's going around himself scouting all these players going. I think he'll get players brought to him and he'll be like, well, he costs 30 million. This player's 10 million, but he's got a broken leg. We might be able to fix him.
Might be able to fix that.
We'll take that one there. So that's pretty much the job of what Orta did. He liked to find them players that were broken and try and fix them, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work, did it?
Nope.
No, for sure.
Didn't. Yeah. Well. Yeah. We broke him.
We literally
we broke him.
Bielsa broke for sure.
He broke a few of our players. To be fair,
Bamford's fucked. He's got knees made of monster munch.
That guy's legs must just hurt him.
But I mean, I've read that
just when he has a poo
on Bamford. I've been reading there's like teams around Europe in the Premiership actually looking at signing him.
He might do what? Like play. I know he's not done well the last 2 seasons.
He's going to turn up on a mobility scooter.
But he did do well in that first season.
He did do well in his first season.
Although there was no fans, and I know like the confidence was high, it showed him he can play at that level, even though if he has lost a yard of pace. So maybe going to a European team, he might do well there.
Yeah, he's a sort of he could do well in the Italian league or something like that, couldn't he? But with Bamford, I mean, even like you speak to every person. I know there's that old cliche that we always play better with Bamford in the team, but results have been better when Bamford was in the team, except the start of the season. Actually, do you know what? I'm just looking back at results this season now. No, it ain't.
No.
The results were not better. Maybe we had better games and we were in games longer.
That's a good point, actually. We can come on to that. Just clear up this whole shenanigans. So, what do you think is sort of what do you think is going to happen now?
I think we're going to end up with some weird manager that we don't know about.
Yep. Or
will be Carlos Corberán. And I would be happy with Carlos Corberán.
You would?
Yeah, I think so. I think because it's because he knows the club, and I know he obviously since we got interested in him, he went into a bit of the shit, didn't he, at West Brom?
And he really did.
Yeah, but if you have a look at the jobs what he did before that with Huddersfield and West Brom, with our set of players, I do think he could do a good job. Dream appointment, obviously we mentioned it last time, didn't we? What's out there now? I mean, I'd take that Marcelo Gallardo, the guy from River Plate, man.
Yeah.
Who we were linked with at one point, who took a sabbatical from football. He's my dream appointment. Then it's that, the Knutson, Rodgers, Potter, any of those. Barry Fry, Neil Warnock.
Yeah.
Just not Stephen Gerrard, please. I know, Rads, I know you listen to this podcast, mate, because this is where you get all your tips about transfers from. Do not employ Stephen Gerrard. Even if you think that he's going to keep some of the players out. Just let Gary Mack be assistant to Gallardo or Rodgers or Potter.
We've had Gary Mack in as manager before.
Yeah, he was fucking shite.
He was.
League One Mac.
Yeah.
He could have done a better job than some of the players.
Yeah.
But then Rad's breaking in all the old timers to try and cheers up for last game. That didn't fucking work,
No,
Rads. I know you're listening, mate.
That last game, 6 defenders.
Let's just not talk about it.
I can't even like. The logic behind that just blows my mind. Anyway, yeah. So dodgy manager,
dodgy players,
dodgy
We're
kit.
linked with players without a manager, which makes it funny. I mean, I do want us to get that Ryan Manning, that left back though. He looks, if we could be linked with him a lot, he looks the business. But knowing our luck, he'd probably go to someone like Burnley, Luton, someone like that for a season in the Prem.
Well, we're the link name, aren't we? We have a lot of that.
Oh, we always
linked to every name, and then it sort of opens up for teams to come and just take them
all these players though that I find hilarious. That like Orta, we nearly bought, and all of them have gone on to like Rodrigo de Paul, man. Can you say his name? Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, the really good one
when he was playing in Russia, and we could have signed him, and we didn't sign him, and now he's worth 150 million and just won the league. Probably one of the best players on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Orta, I know you're listening. You should have
Gvardiol as well.
Gvardiol, yeah. We could have signed him and let him stay on loan.
Like we give him credit for like recognising all these great players that turn into.
But why did he sign Gvardiol and let him stay on loan?
Maybe everyone had them on their list. Like these are all great players, and just do you know what I mean? It's like
do you reckon like Victor Orta's like just hacks of scouts' emails?
He must do something because the players that were brought in last year obviously just were terrible. Look, they weren't terrible players. It was just terrible choices at the time.
Apart from Tyler Adams.
Who's going to get loaned out.
Yeah, I'd rather loaned out than leave.
Yeah, but
Where have you
I
seen
wanted to play for us.
I haven't seen no loan
I've
stuff.
just seen it. I've literally just before I was had a little look on the news now,
Probably to Germany or something.
and they just blare up loads of old bollock stories every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just seen a story of him possibly being loaned out.
I'd take a loan if it meant that we come back when we go up. But I'd rather him stay.
Yeah, the whole point you want him to stay is to play for you, don't you?
Yeah,
So,
just fucking absolutely rip up the championship in the midfield. Oh, he'd love the championship as well, wouldn't he?
yeah, he would.
He would love playing in those matches.
Yeah, he would.
He'd get a lot of red cards though.
Or
Imagine him playing at the Den. Tyler Adams geeing himself
I
up,
wonder if his hair's just got bigger and bigger.
and he just kept going and knocking out fans
Yeah.
and that. Yeah, with it.
Big hairball running around tackling people.
No, I
Sizzling.
think he would love the championship. I think that's the sort of
think he'd
league
love-
he's made for.
I think he'd love the constant games, like the competitiveness, the constant like playing games. But I don't.
Fans don't.
I think nah. But I think the Premiership is where he wants to play, isn't it? Obviously.
You know, I've seen him link with Arsenal. He's that sort of player that they need.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what they need.
Well, we ain't selling to Arsenal anyway. You're hearing Rads, do not sell it to Arsenal.
Rads, you seem like you're our only listener. Just don't hire Gerrard and don't sell add-ons and don't pawn Ellen Road.
Yeah, don't pawn Ellen Road,
You
mate.
ball bag. You crazy ball bag.
Because if you don't pay it off at cash converters, someone else can buy it at sometimes, and you'll see Fingy owning it. I don't know, Todd Bowley using it for a swimming pool or something because he just fell into it. He's a weirdo.
Someone with a handful of sovereigns will buy it.
Yeah. He's got a keeper ring on, mate. Keep him out of the shop.
On Ellen Road.
Yeah.
Put it in my garden. Anyway.
So yeah, should we do a season review?
Yeah, we'll have a little scout through the season and we'll just have a little look at like
Turning point.
how because it was a shit season.
It was like I
Shit
say,
season.
the last season when it's shit always is the worst season in my mind. But I remember when we got relegated from the Prem all them years ago. I was a young sprite at the time. Actually,
Yeah.
no, when I was about 18. I was going uptown doing fingers.
Doing fingers.
Yeah, like finger salutes and
I
that.
was doing fingers. You know,
It wasn't what you thought it was there, was
it was a shot called fingers.
Yeah.
You used to take a drink of water and someone stick a finger up your bum. That was it.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, I was a young sprite going up with a fake ID and that. So, yeah.
But yeah. So going back to like the start of the season, these are the players that we brought in. So we brought Aronson,
Who we thought was a world beater in those first 3 games.
yeah, Luis Sinistera,
What a player.
Who-
Just sit
yeah.
note.
Tyler Adams,
Baller. Beast. Tank. Please stay.
then we had Skeletor,
Skeletor.
Rasmus Christensen.
His name's not Skeletor, it's He-Man.
He looks like Skeletor.
He does look like Skeletor, but he acts like He-Man. Whenever he does a tackle, he's
Yeah.
always got, I have the power.
He did pull us all out of his ass
Yeah.
and start
And
swinging.
he still scored just one less goal than Bamford.
Mark Rocker,
Hit and miss.
more miss.
I'd like to keep him, though, now, thinking about it. Reflection. He's a good player, just can't turn on the ball.
Yeah.
If he's got the other lads doing his donkey work beside him, could be a lot better player for us next year.
I think, like we said in the other ones, like the majority of these players will be really good in the Championship.
Yeah.
They will, but
As much as always see us and the fans say, get rid, don't care about them all, there will be good players.
there would be. But there's the confidence thing as well, and it's like trust. Like the moment any of these make a mistake in the Championship, they'd just be like, oh. Going back to who else did we get? So
Yeah, who else did we get?
Nonto,
What a player.
brilliant. Probably going to lose him.
Probably going to lose it.
And Joel Robles.
Who came in towards the end of the season.
They all come in at the start.
Oh, it looks like Rob Les might get another extension. Might be a good keeper of the Championship.
Might be. I'd rather give Class and a little blast out in there.
Oh, well, and he's terrible, mate.
Why is he terrible?
Because
Have you ever seen him?
yeah,
You see him against Wolves.
He
Clean
doesn't
sheet, mate. 100%. When like clean sheet record.
yeah, but he doesn't even get a game
Yeah.
for the youth.
No,
team,
he's
mate.
not bad either. The little
Van
Dutch
der Havel.
broke his neck.
Yeah, he came
When
back
he's
from a
better.
broken neck, mate. And now he's doing front flips and shit.
He's better. Before he was a bit like, he's just your standard keeper.
Yeah,
Now he seems better.
yeah. Well, maybe him then.
Maybe just send
Nah,
other
Rob,
keepers to break their neck.
I'd still like a new keeper.
I think we'll get a new keeper.
And one of the content creators commented about it the other day, and I thought exactly the same thing. Sam Johnston from Crystal Palace, man.
Maybe. Who's someone else that I seen the other day was on the bench for someone? Alex Smithies. Who was he on?
He played for fucking Huddersfield.
Alex
didn't
McCarthy.
he? Yeah, Southampton. Yeah, he's.
Like.
I swear, didn't he play for us though at one
I
point
think
on
he
loan?
come on loan for a bit. But
We had Jack Butland on loan now, didn't we? Yeah.
Was it Jack Butland on loan when we conceded 6
I
against?
think so. Yeah.
Against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Good keeper that.
Do you remember, Chris Kirkland? Oh yeah, he would never play for us.
No, not fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd never play for us. But no, I'd Sam Johnston, Alex McCarthy. There's another good shout as well. There's a couple of like ones that are due like last hurrah that we could go for. I mean, Rob Les, he did well in his last few games, but he looks a bit weighty, doesn't he?
Did he do well?
No.
Did he do well, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
like commanding wise, talking.
Yeah, he talked, don't he?
We all know Melier's gone, and we're going to get a big fee for him by the look of it.
He did. He did tell the crowd to calm down as well.
Do you know what we should do with Melier?
But we were losing. What?
This is my plan with Melier. Man United going to offer about 25 to 30 mil. Ring Todd Bowley and say, oh, you can have him for 50, but Man United have bid 49. It'd give you the money there and then.
It'd give you more of it.
It honestly, mate, it'd pay you in milk tokens that fast.
Yeah, I'll give you £90 million for Melier right now, and you can have Kepa.
Oh, I'll take Kepa. Mendy. I'd probably take all of them. They've probably got about 15 keepers.
They have. They definitely have got about 15.
But now Melier's time's over now. You can see that now. He's going to go on to be a great, great keeper. Just not going to be for us. And you can just get the cash for him while we need it. If we sell 2 players like for 20 million above, then there's nothing for us to worry about then.
Well, Aronson, it looks like
he's begging for a move.
He's got his release clause, but it's just whoever's going to pay it.
Yeah, but he's begging for a move though. You can see, and that stuff he put out on the Instagram about that he was. Oh, I'm sad. Thanks for bringing me to this beautiful, great club. In other words, mate, he's like sticking his one up to us.
Yeah, one sticker upper.
Yeah, and it looked like a cocktail. Cocktail stick. Cocktail stick. That's what it looked like, mate. And then he fell over.
Someone put on Twitter the other day about the thing and like saying, "Oh, he's got a release clause and that," and like little comments, and I put like a wave.
Yeah,
saying goodbye. I won't wave too hard. I might blow you over that. But like, I think he'd be good in the Championship. But like, I don't care if he goes. I'm not really asked if he goes or not. So anyway, going back to these players coming in at the start of the season, like we said, we looked at them. We had a look at them on YouTube and all their players, and thought, you know what? And even like some of the people who doing the reviews of the players that were bought, they were like, I think these have bought well here.
Yeah,
bought decent players. And I still think we bought decent players, but just bought them at the wrong time.
Yeah, if you look at all the the football people on the YouTube and that, like they were saying that everybody said Leeds had a great window.
Yeah,
and in a lot of them saying that we won the window with the players that we brought in. People going, oh, they've done really, really well. And then after those first 3 games, you know, I blew me the cobwebs off my passport. Going on a European tour next year. Obviously, I weren't going to go.
No,
because I don't want to go to Timbuktu and Latvia and that, but yeah, then it just fell apart, didn't it? After a couple of games.
So we'll go
Wolves
August. So we had Wolves. We beat Wolves 2-1, Southampton 2-2, Chelsea won 3-0, and then we've been Barnsley 3-1 in the cup.
Oh yeah, you can't forget that result, mate.
And then it was the last 2 games in August. We lost to Brighton 1-0, and we drew with Everton. So 1 loss. 2 draws, 2 wins.
I remember the Brentford game is when we started sliding like an absolute.
Well, that's the next game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So after that first month, like the Brighton game, they battered us, didn't they? They battered us for about 70 minutes. But after that, we nearly scored, and then they went down and scored. And it was a bit more sort of, we were in it a bit more then. And I thought, you know what? We're all right this year.
Yeah.
Everton game, probably should have won that. Should have won that game. And then, we got on to...
There's a pattern here that it's like we're thinking about. You know, the games that we lost a lot, though.
Yeah.
And we weren't getting the results. But there's some of the Jesse Marsh games where, you know what, we should have won that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying to you. There were games where it's like, if we'd have won that game, nobody would have went, Leeds are really lucky to win that game.
Yeah.
Or, you know... And that was the problem that we had. It was always these like games where it could have just went for us, but it went against us. And... that's why we say he was unlucky, because it was just a couple of goals here and there, and the whole season complexion would have been different. But it wasn't. Anyway, so we get on to September.
Yeah, this is where it started falling off, weren't it?
So it was the Brentford game,
Yep.
which even in that game, I thought, watching that, I thought this game could be 5-2 either way. Llorente had his best game for Leeds.
Oh, that was a really, really good game, wasn't it? That was, yeah, I remember that.
Performance. What a performance.
It's weird watching him play in that European final the other night, though. Did you see that?
I didn't.
I was watching it, and then I thought, fuck, they brought Diego Llorente on. Just got relegated from champ, from to champ, and played fucking European final.
He was.
And you know what? He actually looked all right.
Did they lose that?
Yeah, they lost.
Penalties.
Yeah.
Did he take one?
I do not remember. I don't think he did.
I hope he missed. Anyway, yeah. So Brentford game, lost that 5-2. Then we got the Villa game. That's when Sinistera got sent off, and we were just hanging on till the end. And nearly win it at the end as well. By the way, I went to watch that with my dad.
I was in the US of A, watching at 11 o'clock in the morning.
So we're still in this. Yeah, you watched. Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're still in this sort of like phase of in our minds, like, okay, the season's not terrible. The Villa game, we should have won that game with 10 men. Oh, not should have won, but we had 10 men for a lot of that, and we could have won it at the end. Then the Palace game, and there was that big talk of like we should have been out of sight in the first half an hour, and then second half it was like 2-1. We ended up losing the game 2-1. Then the Arsenal game, that we should have won,
absolutely battered
on.
Any Arsenal fan that I meet even now say that that's the game that they should have deserved to lose the most that season, because we were all over them. I remember Sinistera, that game was something else, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Just in looking not to score, he was electrifying. I cannot believe I just used the word electrifying, but he was decent, weren't he?
He was. Let's just go back a sec, because he was really good. The thing that I think massively played a chunk of why our season went great, and I know it was the same for everybody, but especially our season with the young players bedding in, blah blah blah, the massive gaps in the season.
Yeah.
Because if you look here, we played Brentford on the 3rd of September.
Yep.
Lost 5-2. And then our next game went till the 2nd of October against Villa. So there's a huge gap straight away. So consistency is obviously hard. I know we lost the game, but you want to keep playing, don't you? So then we went through October with what? So we drew with Villa, lost to Palace, lost to Arsenal, should have won. Then the Leicester game, where we were terrible, and they were 1-0 up without having a shot on goal.
Yeah.
It was scored that own goal. That game for me, like if you went and look at that game, look at the stats of the game, we should have won the game on stats. But when you watch that game, we were diabolical. We were terrible, weren't we? And then for me, this is when the season started.
Going wobbly, weren't it?
Yeah, it was almost like, oh shit, maybe this is going to be great. Because we went from that game, and then we lost to Fulham at home.
Yeah. That when, when Dover Reed scored that goal, and that
the goal when he just stood on his own.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So we lost that, and then there was that. There's another gap.
You're talking about the 29th of October here, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's just sticking in my mind straight away, because I rang you, didn't I, that night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a 2-1 win against Liverpool, which was completely come out of completely by surprise. I mean, I know Liverpool weren't great that season, but to win at Anfield, Van Dijk's never lost there.
And this is when Nonto was really coming into his powers as well, weren't
Somerville as well. Somerville scored against Fulham. I know it was a bit of a dodge goal, but he scored against Fulham. Then he scored the winner against Liverpool. Then there was the fucking Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
And we should have been about 10-1 down half time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we ended up winning that game. And then that was October. That was November. Won that game. Then we lost to Wolves in the cup. We watched that here. Then we lost to Tottenham. That game we probably should have won.
Then we should have beat Tottenham that game as well. That goal shouldn't have counted and all that shit.
Yeah, there's another big gap.
And because World Cup,
yeah.
And then there's that. Talking about that Tottenham game, they just let Bentancur run through the entire midfield that game now, and the defence would not make a tackle. I remember it like it was last season. I remember it like it was last year. It was like no tackles being put in anywhere.
A staple of the Leeds United Premier League reign is not being able to tackle, apart from Adams. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, same goals. And then we've come back. See, when we come back after the World Cup, what did you think of our sort of play? I honestly thought that we were improving in terms of our play. I thought we were clicking. We were getting a little bit better. And I know we lost to Man City, Then we had the Newcastle game, hung on in there, got a good point, and then the West
That's a
Ham.
great point.
It was the West Ham game. I thought we battered West Ham, and then there was a period just before half time and after half time where they scored their goals, and I thought we were the better team. Thought we should have won that game, but we didn't. This was another problem of ours.
I think that was the problem with Jesse Marsh.
Yeah.
Is he kind of got a bit of a tune out some of the lads, even though we were playing shit football.
Rodrigo being one of them.
Yeah,
Massive.
especially Rodrigo. But the results weren't there for it.
Yeah.
And on any other season, they could have been completely different for Jesse Marsh. And yeah, I mean, I didn't get him. He wasn't obviously a fan favourite of mine. I didn't get his philosophy about football and putting notes around the changing room saying celebrate moments and all that. I didn't understand that. But
you should speak to Skeletor about that.
Yeah, you should speak to Rasmus Christensen about that.
He knows that bit.
But I mean, on any other time, he could have been like all those results that went against him.
Yeah,
because they were close results. Could have been completely different. And that's football, though, isn't it?
It is.
And at the end of the day, you weren't getting the results, which is a result. And I do think we obviously sacked him a little bit later than what we should.
I think we either sacked him before the World Cup or not at all.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I at the time, obviously hindsight's a beautiful thing. At the time when he went, and then obviously Grathia come in, and we started picking up a little bit. We were like, oh yeah, maybe. But looking back on the whole thing now, I think you either sack him before the World Cup, or you don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Or you just leave him to play out the season because we're fucking relegated anyway. So what would have been?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least there would have been a consistent way of playing. And
this
maybe
is your personal opinion, obviously, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, of course.
Football experts, we just play football, watch football. That's it.
Maybe it would have clicked. I'm not saying it would have. I'm not saying it definitely wouldn't have. But maybe after that, constantly like drilling into him, like this is the way I want you to play, because there were moments where it did work and it did look okay, and it like the Cardiff. I know it was a Cardiff game, but there was a goal that the way we passed out from the back and we just completely went from back to front straight away and we scored from it. That goal, I know again it was against Cardiff. That goal I think was typifies what he wanted and how he wanted Leeds to play. And
I know you mentioned there about things clicking about obviously one of the big mistakes that Jesse Marsh did make was letting Click go.
Well, Click, yeah.
Weston McKennie.
Bought him at the time when that happened, were you like?
Well, thinking we've got Weston McKennie.
Exactly.
At the time, yeah.
I think everybody was like, okay, Click's gone. It's a shame. He's been a great servant to us, but we've got a Juventus midfielder, 24 years old, international. I don't think anybody in football would have went, now we'll stick with Click. In that situation. If they're being realistic about it, they'd have went, we'll keep Click. We probably wish we were out of it.
Yeah, in hindsight, like you just said, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
But like anything after the sacking of Jesse Marsh, and then you go through Scoobs, you go through Grathia, and you go through Allardyce, the changes that were being, I know Allardyce was like, oh yeah, we'll make little changes in there, we won't want to do too much. Playing 6 defenders
and nobody under the age of 25 unless he had to
is a massive change.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, mate. That was ridiculous. But yeah, so I do think that even that the game that he got sacked at, the Forest game, we should have won that game.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
So he got sacked after a game that we definitely should have won. But again, that was becoming the problem, wasn't it? It was becoming that...
We are the team of ifs, buts and maybes, aren't we?
This season, completely. I mean, the last season, you couldn't not look past the injuries and the lack of depth for last season. You couldn't not do that. It was plain for everyone to see. That's why everyone felt a bit shitty on Bielsa getting sacked, because he didn't have a lot to work with. Probably some of his own doing, to be fair. But with Marsh, yeah, sack him before Liverpool or the World Cup, should I say, or just should have just let him play out the season. Because after that, we were like watching a different game.
Yeah, a different team every game.
A different team every game, and it was like a different way of playing every game. And we talked about Grathia being very adaptive and to different teams and different players. And in theory, it sounds amazing. But when you've got low confidence players and missing players, like one of our best players, Sinister, has been injured all over the place. You've got your forward, Rodrigo's injured, Bamford can't fucking do anything apart from hold the ball up.
And then £35 million forward who gets thrown at the deep end and then plays him out of position, who's actually not a striker, and it's just a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, you got Weber coming in and trying to stop goals going against us, and then the manager gets sacked. You got Weston McKennie coming in. This is the way we're playing. This is how we're going to be doing it. Then he goes, and his whole sort of situations change. It's like it was just a big mess. After Marsh went, because of the way we bought our players, the positions that we'd filled, the way he wanted to play, anyone coming in after that was going to fucking struggle. We can see that now because they did. Yeah. All of them struggled. So, season review as a whole, it's been, you say, ifs, buts and maybes, but there's a definite, we did get relegated.
Yeah, we did get relegated. That's the definite of this. And the thing is that Leeds are going to be there next year.
Yeah.
And we're going to be here. And we'll have new players. We'll have new management team. We'll probably have a new board.
We'll have a new show.
Yeah. We will have some special guests. We've got Billy from the Chinese coming down. I'm going to have a little go with us. He loves rice and that. He's going to come down and have a go with us. Billy, my mate Billy.
Oh, Bill, yeah. Bill Bags, we call him.
Yeah, Bill Bags. He's going to come down and do it with us. But now, I think, now everything's all up in the air. I think what we need to do now is just stick together as a fan base, really, and just look to the future, because we are going to be a force in that league if we get everything right. But there is also the chance that if all this uproar above the club, above the playing staff doesn't get fixed, then we could be in for a bit of a season of misery as well.
Yeah, it's like we'll definitely lose players and we'll definitely bring players in. I wouldn't say misery. I don't think it'll be down. I think a negative season for us next year is finishing not even playoffs, finishing out of the playoffs. Finishing below playoffs is a bad season.
It is a very bad season, but in my eyes, even finishing in the playoffs is risky business.
Right now, with the players that we might not have or we might not get, a manager that we haven't got, a board that we haven't got, or right now, if someone said, you know what, right now, I'll offer you playoffs for next year, I'll be like, yeah, go on then. I'll take it right now.
See, I
give it a week.
I don't want playoffs. I don't
want it.
I
don't fucking want it.
Can't we just win the league?
We did that already, but we can only do it when there's no fans in. So that's what we should do. Just ban fans for next.
Ban fans. All of them just have to singing outside the ground.
Yeah. The thing is, we've probably got one of the best set of like vocally fans out there.
I'd say the best in my eyes, but that's me.
Yeah, I would say the best, but like there are good sets of fans out there.
Yeah,
like the Newcastle fans, and it's mainly the Northern.
Of course, it's mainly the Northern fans. Yeah,
apart from Manchester.
Yeah, total. Although the red side of Manchester was particularly quiet at the FA Cup final yesterday, weren't they? Do you know why?
Why?
Because they only had 10 minutes to walk over.
What a shame. Anyway, but as I say, like, what was I fucking talking about now? Oh, the fans, yeah. The best season we've had is without them.
Oh no, it's a shame, isn't it?
Got promoted without them. We finished 9th without them, and then we all come back in, and we just didn't give them
the players didn't give the fans what they deserved. Yeah, because
such a shame.
You've got to think about it. Last time, obviously, the fans were in, it was like, say we finished the season, we lost in the playoffs. Yeah, like the main end of the season.
Oh yeah,
The season, yeah. So we lost in the playoffs, and then the next season, no fans in the stadium, we win the fucking league.
Yeah.
The next day, like, no fans in, we finished 9th, 3 points away from European football.
Yeah.
And after that, fans back to Leeds United.
Poo-poo-sharoo.
Yeah, this has gone on for a while. Our season review has gone on for a bit of a long
season review. It's been a bit of a talk about how shit it was.
Yeah, we did have this discussion to upload a 10-second clip going season review, shite, and that was it. Yeah, that's what we're thinking about doing.
Season poo. Season poo. No, that don't work.
That ain't gonna work.
That doesn't work, mate.
So yeah, I think that's our season review. I think, and just to let everybody know as well, our next episode probably will not be till mid next week now, because we're going to some festivals. Going to go to like the download. Yeah, so that's going to be us. You got anything you want to finish on, James?
Stick
with the team.
stick with whatever's left.
Yeah, whatever's left.
I don't know what's going on. I used to be very much reactive to the news that comes out, with obviously the whole thing about the stadium, very like, oh my god, but like I've learned that it can be a lot of horse shit that gets spread around until there's some actual things. I know like he did inquire about it, but until actual things are happening, I'm trying to reserve my frustration, my anger, or even my happiness in certain decisions, whatever gets made, until it's here and ready and we can grasp it and we can see it. Until then, we're just watching Radrizzani try and buy Sampdoria.
Yeah, he's bought it.
He's bought it, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
So what are we, Sampdoria fans now?
No, we're definitely not.
No, we're not Sampdoria fans, no.
If we were Italian fans, we could be like a funny name, like no, Sassuolo, something like that.
We could be called the Sassy Boys.
It could be called. I don't not want to be called the Sassy Boys. Billy from Chinese don't like being called Sassy Boy.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
Where art thou, Billy?
Do you know what Billy's full name is? Billy Frederick Mungins.
What a name!
That is a great name.
What's his mum and dad's name? What's Bill's mum and dad's name? Do you know?
Mary Mungins and Michael Mungins. I think that name's
when his nickname Bungins.
Yeah, that was it. Something like that. Okay, I think that's a good note to finish up this one on this week, because Billy from the Chinese is not going to be happy with us.
Sorry, Billy.
Giving his full name out.
Sorry, Billy Mungins. You imaginary boy, you.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. All right, okay. Thank you very much for listening, guys. It's been a lovely, lovely long chat. And
it's been long, and we'd never say like and subscribe. And I'm going to say this: if you want to do it, if you don't, just don't get.
Don't,
who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, just sound.
Good times. We'll see you soon.
Mott. Bye. I've been Kevin.
And I'm still James. Take care.